and Russell had just started working for us, but we've lost quite a few of them now, old age and some other kinds of accidents and stuff. But our show was very, very safe.
Yeah, even some of the younger ones are going now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Al and let's see,
There's definitely Al anyway.
yeah.
But when the safety director doesn't have to come out there, that's great. I mean, on some shows they have to babysit them and stuff like that. Things happen.
Because wasn't there an episode where they went from the General Lee to a plane and then into a car?
Yeah, that was the old biplane, I believe.
Yeah.
Was a biplane. That was Russell Solberg doing it.
How did they do that one? Do you remember?
I would probably have to look at it. I know Russell was on
The
that.
rope ladder, yeah.
Right, on that rope ladder and everything like that. But Russell actually did it.
He went from car to plane to car. Wow.
And I don't remember who the pilot was, but I know that it was his plane, and he was very good on that. And I believe it was I think it was Alan. I think it was Alan that was driving the General Lee at that time. That was shot at Indian Dunes.
Yeah.
On the airstrip, that bit was.
Yeah. And I know that was a big deal for Russell, and I guarantee Russell had a lump in his throat on that one there. But when you're working for Paul Baxley, you do give your all. You know, I mean, he's going to put you in a pretty rough situation, but it's nothing that Paul wouldn't do himself. And Paul he'd come up with some pretty different stunts, especially that one with the two sheriff cars.
Yeah.
The head on.
Yeah.
You'll never ever see that duplicated. Nobody's ever going to duplicate that. Nobody wants to take a chance. But that thing just worked perfect. I mean, just perfect. Lance Turner and Teddy Barber did that, and
Well, a combination of CGI and health and safety these days, you'd never get any.
Can't do anything.
no. But the thing of it is neither one of the drivers could see each other. They did not see each other until they were almost in the air when they come up on that bridge, on that ramp. And they hit perfect. They had to hit off center. They couldn't hit head on because Paul wanted the cars to spin and then fall down in that gully.
Dry creek.
Yeah, I remember going out there that day, because that's my picture that I took of the two cars just as they followed up, and you could see the crew that was
Down
in
below.
front of me and stuff like that. On the original shot of it, where it was kind of panned out, you could see Paul Baxley. He was standing there, back there, watching it. But that was just amazing. I mean, and Paul would work all that stuff out. We took a long time to do it. That was the first time. That was at Lake Sherwood. That was the first time I ever seen an ambulance, fire truck, Jaws of Life, in a closed set. First time ever. It was very, very secure. And they rehearsed it, and boy, I'll tell you what, it worked perfect.
Yeah. Was there ever any other times where they needed ambulances and
No,
Jaws of Life and things
I
like
can't. I can't remember. We had Mike Escoboza was our first aid man, and everybody trusted Mike. Mike's a huge guy and these big hands, but they were like so soft or whatever. He just. When Mike got there to you, you knew you were going to be okay. I mean, he was just so good. I mean, we did a thing for the LA Times, me and Corey and a bunch of the other guys. Corey was driving it, and I built a Chevy Blazer that went through a trailer. And what we did is we were doing a thing on Stuntman and Corey Eubanks, and it shows us building the thing, and about how to do that. Matter of fact, we actually got Mike Escoboza to come back out there on that. And that was the first time I think Corey's dad was there, Bob, Corey's mom, Corey's sister and brother. They were all on the set that day. And we were doing this thing for the LA Times, and it was like one of their pieces that come in before when you're watching the movie, before the main feature. And it was only supposed to be 90 seconds. And they chopped this thing down to 3 minutes, but they let it run for the 3 minutes. And it was a fantastic thing, and show us putting the pipe ramp up and everything like that, and show me sending off Corey, and Corey goes in there, and we had cameras mounted on the inside, and you could see him go through it, and you could see him spinning through the air, and as it comes through the air, it's coming right at camera, and all of a sudden it just goes black.
Mm-hmm.
Corey landed right on the camera, and it was just right where it was supposed to land. Yeah. I mean, it's just, when you see it on that big screen, you just see that blazer coming at you, and then it's just black, and they go, how do you guys do that? And I says, it's talent. I says, you can't go over there and you can take a computer and you can figure this stuff out. It's knowing what you got for a vehicle. It's knowing the guy in the vehicle. You set the weight and everything else like that. We used to have bets on stuff. Who's going to get the closest, for $5, everybody throwing $5. They put these things, but where it landed, it would cover this table, and because everybody knew about where he was going to land. And then you got these other people like, oh well, we figured out on the computer, and this, and half the time it isn't fast enough. And I always think that the guys always wanted to go faster and faster, and I always thought, if you went too slow, you're going to screw it up. Yeah. You can always go a little bit too far, and the worst you can do is like what John Cade did. He went too far, and you lost it in film. And the guys were starting to go. Our average jump was probably, when we first started, is anywhere 85, maybe 120 feet. Then they started getting up around 150 feet, and then 160, 180 feet. And then they always wanted a big engine and fast car and everything. So we started putting some nitrous on the 318 motors. Put a 4-barrel on it, put nitrous on it, and we'd go with that. They didn't have enough power to really slide the cars around, and we needed to use them up anyway. So that worked pretty good. But then when I was going to build a car for Corey, 440 car, and nitrous on it. I don't know how Paul got wind of that, and I think it was something like, if you do that, you don't have a job anymore. And so Paul goes, I don't want to see any of these jumps over 150 feet anymore. So